What is going on? Justin here, and I've got the XTR 130 out in front of me, and I've also got probably the greatest advancement in tech as it relates to kayak fishing over the past 10 to 15 years. And I say that as somebody that has been kayak fishing for 10 plus years and also somebody that has worked in this industry for their entire career. And without further ado, now introducing the Garmin Force trolling motor available for your kayak. And I know what you're thinking, Justin, there's nothing revolutionary about another bow-mounted trolling motor. But that's where you're wrong. This actually mounts in the stern. This is unbelievable. I can't believe that I'm looking at this right now. I can't believe that I am the first person outside of Garmin laying eyes on this product. When I first heard about this project, I assumed that it was a bow trolling motor. Garmin makes bow trolling motors for bass boats, but I was completely wrong. This is a total 180, and dude, holy cow. Here it is, your first look at the Garmin Force Current for your kayak. That is unbelievable. The fact that a company like Garmin is making moves like this in the kayak scene means that we're doing something right. They see the value in it, just like we did 10 to 15 years ago. There are plenty of other stern motorization options that are on the market, but this is what separates the Garmin Force Current from everybody else. Number one being installation time. This is the quickest motor install on the market. There is no drilling. There are no cables. The foot braces are wireless. The only cable that you're gonna see goes from the unit itself to your battery. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this is a real thing right now. This is your foot brace right here. Unbelievable. I'm gonna go ahead and mount the motor itself. It only takes 4 screws, and then I'll be back up here tomorrow. I'm gonna take the kayak out and get some first impressions. First time doing this, let's see how intuitive she is. Like a glove. Hopefully we got everything that we need. Fortunately for us, we've got a small kind of private lake 10 minutes from the factory. No fish are gonna be caught today. I'm not even bringing a rod. That was a little bit faster than I expected. Could have gone south real quick. The plan is, Maria, I really don't know what I'm doing. So this is an initial impression we're gonna be learning on the fly. So right now my motor says that it's in the stowed position. How it knows that, I have no idea. So let's go ahead and deploy the motor. Let's see, I'm assuming the MOB is on. System is ready, perfect. Now I'm gonna try this out first using the remote. I'll be quite honest with you, I don't trust myself quite yet with the foot pedals, so you can tell the direction of the prop without turning behind you because there is a circle on the screen. That's right, this has a small little LCD screen and it tells you which way your prop is oriented. That is so weird. The fact that there's not a motor in my immediate line of sight is crazy. To have my deck completely open, I've got all this space. I say we let the big dog eat coming back now. Let's see how many different prop speeds we have. There are 20 different prop speeds. Right now, I am on number 20. This thing is cooking pretty good. One thing that I really like so far, and if you're familiar with a bow-mounted trolling motor, you know, some of those trolling motors were designed to basically push around boats, full-size boats. And sometimes you get a very touchy-feely bow motor that almost causes you to, you know, lose your balance if you go one direction way too fast. If you've got the prop off and all of a sudden you turn it back on, you have no idea which way it's turned, and it really kind of throws you around. But I am feeling, you know, an overwhelming sense of security with this motor since it's in the stern. I'm making perfect adjustments. Everything is just buttery smooth. That was one of the coolest experiences that I've ever had on a kayak, I'm not gonna lie. The remote is super easy, we know that. Now, for the foot pedals. The good thing about it is if you do kind of mess up it's still very smooth. Like, it's not kicking me around, especially not in this kayak. And if I feel like I'm kind of going too fast one way, I can always come back to the first position and I'm fine. I'm just having to, oh my gosh. I'm just having to figure out how this is backwards from what I'm used to. Okay. Minor adjustment. This is so cool. This is how I see this motor separating itself from everything else that's currently on the market. You're going from point A to point B. You're sitting down. You're not necessarily fishing. You've got a shallow spot that you're coming up to. Maybe it's, pre-spawn, fish are on bed, whatever. You're in 2 to 3 foot of water. You're coming up shallow. You're standing up. You're grabbing your remote. And you're coming up here and using the exact same motor that you just had. And now we're sight fishing. And you don't have that big bulky motor in the front, potentially scaring off fish. There's absolutely no noise at the front of the kayak. You have nothing in your way. You don't have a big, shaft up front anymore. And now we're fishing just like we would on a bass boat. This is the coolest shit ever. The fact that it's got instant reverse. One really cool feature on this trolling motor, and anybody that's used a bow trolling motor, you have to turn it all the way around. You have to turn it 180 in order for it to go backwards. But this right here has instant reverse. So same way that you go all the way forward to go forward, all you have to do, take the weight of your heels on both pedals, and we're going backwards, baby. Backing that fish right up off a bank. Dude. I'm gonna take this back to Big Adventures and I'm gonna calibrate my watch. I'm gonna hook my watch up to this dadgum thing. Well, I guess I better film some sort of outro, but final thoughts on this motor. Unlike anything that I've ever experienced on a kayak, it's really hard to explain. But right now, breaking everything down, we're dropping footage for the final walkthrough video that will also be dropping. So this is kind of like an informal unboxing, whatever. I might use some of the same footage that I did for that video. On this video, heck, they might just come out the same. We're just gonna see who can edit a better video. If you wanna learn more about this motor, this is the Garmin Force Current. I'm sure they'll have a landing page live and built by the time ICAST rolls around. So if you're seeing this July 15th, it's probably gonna be live. Y'all take care.